We failed. One scientist's despair as Brazil COVID-19 deaths hit 100,000.
Here's a summary of the article.
Reopening is a recipe for disaster, the 43-year-old scientist warned on a recent talk show, as lockdown efforts withered despite the soaring number of infections and deaths. Brazil has recorded more than 3 meters infections, second only to the US. We failed, as a country, as a government, as a society, to get the message out in a clear, transparent and educative way, she admitted. An Orwellian federal government propaganda campaign called the Placa da Vida trumpets the number of people saved by its efforts, but skips over the dead. But by most measures Brazil's reaction has been dire. Latin America's #1 economy has the world's second highest death toll, second highest number of infections and 11th highest number of confirmed deaths per million people. Since late May Brazil's 7-day rolling average of confirmed deaths has been close to, or above 1,000 a day. As Brazil passed its latest cruel milestone, Pasternak said she was disheartened to think things could have been different. The federal government is being absurdly negligent and this is one of the biggest reasons Brazil now finds itself in this situation.
This post received a score of 27,000, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Since March she has sounded the alarm, and petitioned the government, by penning more than 50 articles, appearing on 19 podcasts and giving nearly 300 interviews. Yes, she has nothing to apologize for. Her government let Brazil down, not the scientists.
If I were that scientist I'd pack my bags and leave the sinking ship. It's one thing I can do at least to avoid die with it since it is beyond help.
Greater than if I were that scientist I'd pack my bags and leave the sinking ship. I think that because of her job she can get out, however for the rest of us it's almost impossible to. I wanted to get out of this country for years but because complicated laws, lack of funds and difficult on get a job it's become almost impossible to do. With the worst is how many are taking this and the economy crisis. You hear common stories of people that lock themselves inside home but ultimately get the virus because they need to go shopping for food and you don't see people obeying the recommendations. Worst of all
I literally just watched a video last night on Venezuela from the YouTube channel, The People, and they went in detail about how hard it is to travel anywhere for multiple reasons. I can't imagine Brazil being any easier. See.
Not to mention people don't realize this is someone leaving their home and loved ones. You can leave, but what happens to everyone else when you do?
I've done this and I can tell you I miss my family every day and it gets worse with time.
I hope you get to see them again soon. I bet they miss you and love you so much.
Bolsonaro failed. Not the doctors or scientists.
Bolsonaro asked his followers to raid hospitals and start filming in order to show if the beds are occupied or not. There was even a case of Bolsonaro's followers blocking the entrance to a big hospital in São Paulo.
And I thought us Americans were retarded.
Well, you're not wrong. Why not both? Plenty of stupid to go around. 160K plus dead, beds running low in some states, and people want to force kids back into schools, when an idiot is saying it's not safe enough to vote in November.
It hasn't even been a month yet and 96,000 of those kids have already tested positive.
It's only been a week and a half. Skeptical smiley face.
Some only lasted a day. Hopefully more drop just as quickly.
The scientists didn't fail. The cunt that is the president did.
Can you fail if you never try in the first place? Yes. Not trying is failure.
It's worse than a failure IMO.
Agreed, in this case, it's costing thousands of lives.
Science didn't fail, the political process failed.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.